Nico Harrison went from Nike exec to NBA GM with no front office experience, but all the right connections. Now he's out. Luka's gone, and the Mavs are left rebuilding. And they're really looking more like a real estate project than the NBA basketball team. So what's really happening in Dallas? This is our franchise, and you watching Talkin Sporty. Let's go.
We talking sporty. We talking sporty. We talking sporty.
As you know, Nico Harrison has been fired by the Dallas Mavericks, out as their general manager. More fallout from the Luka Dončić trade from last year. I think they really underestimated the love of the fan base had for Luka. But let's take a different spin at this. Let's look at who is Nico Harrison? How did he get in the position? Let's go through the timeline of events to get to this point, right? All right. So first of all, Nico Harrison, he had a brief international professional basketball career, and after that, he moved back to Oregon, where he actually applied for a role as Nike as a field regional representative. He got the job. It was based out of Dallas. He moved to Dallas, right? Basically, a field regional rep with Nike usually pushes product adoption, brand usage, athlete endorsements, ensure the brand is well positioned in their region, whatever region they're servicing. Now, Nico made connections in this role, right? The likes of Tim Duncan, Michael Finley, Dirk Nowitzki, things of that nature. So he had a lot of success in this role. He was promoted up the ranks, um, eventually to a national marketing role, working with Kobe and Michael, and he eventually became VP of North American basketball at Nike. He worked there for 19 years. So although he had no GM experience, Nico did have the relationships in the league with the players, with the agents and things of that nature. So he had a reputation of being trustworthy, and the players were, he had those personal connections with the players. So this is what happened with Dallas. Nico was at Nike for 19 years until 2021, right? 2021, Dallas, they part ways with Donnie Nelson, the GM who the guy who was GM of their franchise for the last 20 years, the 20 years previous to 2021, right? So at that moment, I think it may be Luka's third year or so. So you got like front office tension, another playoff exit, Luka, words of Luka discontent. And I remember the rumors. I don't know if it's proven or not that Rick Carlisle, awesome basketball coach, he was the coach those for the early years of Luka's career, and they say he left because of Luka. So I don't know how much that is, but so the owner at the time, Mark Cuban, the great Mark Cuban, he wanted to modernize things, right? Let's get somebody in here. Let's go unconventional hire. And he went with Nico Harrison, just because he was a guy the players love, the agents respect him. He knows basketball and he knows how to build those relationships. So he went Nico. And at that point, Cuban like, yo, I need a guy who know how to relate to the players, and I'm trying to keep Luka happy. I'm trying to keep the guy happy. So out the gate, that first season, they go to the Western Conference Finals, lose to the eventual champions, Golden State Warriors. That Western Conference Finals team was really good. But I think the first mistake was letting Jalen Brunson walk. But we'll come back and go over the moves. They go to the Western Conference Finals, end up trading for Kyrie Irving, miss the playoffs, and this is where things get icky. So the business shifts in 2023. So Mark Cuban sells his majority stake in the Mavericks in December of 2023 to Pat Dumont. He's the CEO of Las Vegas Sands, real estate, casino, resort company, right? So Dumont is not a basketball guy. He's more of a businessman, real estate, casino, resorts, like I said. But his first full season as Mavs owner, your boy get a trip to the finals. You really probably ain't do shit. You already had the, thing, everything built. So after that season, Dumont, he popped Nico off. He popped Nico off with a whole contract extension. So the next season, they trade Luka Dončić. How you trade the franchise the next season, right? So it's not, man, if anybody believes Nico just went rogue and he traded Luka Dončić without the owner's approval is insane. Right? I think the owner, not being a basketball guy, I think he really underestimated as I said before, the impact that Luka Dončić had on their city and their fan base. That's their guy. You know what I'm saying? Fans are really tied to their superstars that they draft, right? Um, so trading Luka from Dumont's standpoint, trading Luka could be more of a financial strategy than a basketball move. Could be resetting the roster, resetting the salary cap, contracts, and branding. So now you kind of wonder if it's really about the team or is it more about the business, right? But this the thing. This the weird real part about it, right? The conspiracy theorist in me. You trade with the ratings low, you trade Luka to LA, which is insane. But some kind of way, the Dallas Mavericks, who lost in the play-in round of the playoffs, with a less than a 2% chance to get the first pick, lands the number one overall pick and gets Cooper Flag, who is widely considered a generational talent. And it's like, wait, what? How does that even? It's just that's not a coincidence to me. So at the end of the day, you land Cooper Flag. You start this year, you're 3-8, which is wild that you're making a move at 3-8 when you got 71 games left. But it was too toxic, right? You got players. You got to think about it from the player standpoint. Those Dallas Maverick players probably were more comfortable on the road than at home because it's just you chance. It's just displeasure, discontent in the crowd. Fire the GM. Fire the GM. You got fans flipping off the owner. They had to put a staircase, a mobile staircase by Nico's seat so he could get in and out of the seat, quickly. At home games. It's insane. So it's like, the players probably like it just probably was a toxic environment and they had to. Nico was the face of it. He was the one who stood in front of it. He was the one talking about it. He was the one defense wins championships. He stood on it and he said time will tell how everything panned out. So, he was the fall guy to me. In my opinion, he was the fall guy. But Nico, it wasn't all bad with Nico. Let's look at some of Nico moves. All right. I'm gonna go good moves first. Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively, drafting Lively, trading for Daniel Gafford. You had Derek Jones, right, on that finals team. PJ Washington. That's a good move. You had the trade for Kyrie Irving. You got the signing of Klay Thompson, which was a good move at the time. I know Klay not playing well, but that was a good move. And you just got number one pick Cooper Flag. That's a lot of good things. But it's a few moves that the bad moves are so heavy. Trading Quentin Grimes was not a good move for Caleb Martin, who, had some injury issues. Quentin Grimes is a nice player. You could have kept Quentin Grimes. The Porzingis trade, you sold him low. You didn't even really get much for Porzingis, and he ended up going chip up. Matter of fact, he was on the team that beat y'all in the finals. All right. Now I don't remember how much he played because Porzingis be hurt too. But falling to he went and chipped up. You let Jalen Brunson walk. You didn't see that you had an All NBA player right there. Him and Luka. Would Brunson have become what he is now with Luka? How ball dominant he is? I mean, it kind of worked with Luka and Kyrie, so I think so. Um, that letting Jalen Brunson walk was crazy, and then the Luka Doncic trade. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's clearly the relationship with Rob Pelinka, as we stated, his relationships with agents and players and things of that nature fostered that trade. So, what's next for the Mavericks, bro? Like, do y'all feel like with this owner not being a basketball guy, like, is this a situation you just blow it up? I don't. I think Anthony Davis get traded, and I think they work something out. Not just like they're gonna do him dirty. I think they work something out because it is nah, man. If you wait, you gotta wait for Kyrie to see what you have with Kyrie. But if you really, I could play lively and Gafford at the center. I got big, so I could trade Anthony Davis and run it with Cooper Flag and Kyrie and the rest of our squad and get some picks or some other pieces. I feel like You probably could get you a formidable center. I mean, or formidable power forward. You know what I'm saying? That you don't have to pay a lot of money to, and some draft picks or something for Anthony Davis. But what do I know? I'm just a guy who loves sports. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Was Nico Harrison the fall guy for this? Clearly, and what do the Mavericks go for here? It's Talking Sporty, our franchise. We out.
Hey. Fast moves like lightning's whisper. Yeah. Sharp grooves, we're cutting quicker. Yeah. The game's alive, the pulse gets thicker. Yeah. Yeah. We talking sporty. Hey.